Now the next thing we'll talk about here, I'll go through, we're going to be talking about site structure. Okay, now site structure is the way that your website is built to your visible eyes. So it's the links that are on your left-hand navigation. It's your home buttons. It's basically the architecture or the map of your individual website and how that's laid out. So it's kind of like information architecture. So when we talk about site structure, you're talking about how do people retrieve information from your site. They go to your home page. If they click on a link, they're going through your site structure. So left-hand navigation, if they click on, we're going to stick with the sporting goods theme here. If they click on baseball bats, they're going to the baseball bat page. So that structure has to be correct throughout the site. We're going to teach you how to do that as well. Next thing we're going to talk about here real quick are meta tags. Okay, now meta tags are basically the code within your website. So it is the title tag, the meta description tag, the keywords tag, your H1 tag. These are tags within your site in which you tell the search engines what you want to be listed under. Let's say your meta description tag, you're giving them a description that may show up in the search engines. This is the code within your site, and we're going to go through each one of those individual tags because they're very, very important with the search engines. Another thing we're going to be talking about is links, or as we like to call them, taps. Okay, so links. Basically, this is a one-way link. That's all that we talk about here. We don't talk about reciprocal links. We don't talk about any type of link farming. The only thing that we're talking about is a true one-way link pointing back to your website. Now, we call them taps, or traffic access points, because one of the things that we're going to teach you how to do in this series is not only get a one-way link pointing to your website, but that one-way link may be coming from a press release, an article, blog, or a directory. Now, these are places where people are actually reading that information. So not only is it a link one way back to your website from a relevant page, but it's also a place where people can access your site. So it's a traffic access point. The links that we teach you how to generate are not only going to help you in your ranking in Google, but they're also going to be driving traffic directly to your site. Another thing that a lot of people ask us about, and we talk about it real quick, is PageRank. Now, PageRank is basically a number from 0 to 10 that Google gives your website depending on how well it feels that you're doing in your individual industry. Now, an average PageRank is usually about 3 or 4. In order to view PageRank, I suggest everybody that is going to be doing anything with their website that wants to get listed in Google, download the Google toolbar, because that's going to show you not only the PageRank of your site, but the PageRank of your competitors' sites, and it's also going to go through and allow you to look at links and everything else. So remember, download that Google toolbar. It's pretty important. But within this PageRank, what they're looking at is they're looking at the type of content that you have on your website, the amount of one-way links from relevant websites that are out there, and the different types of directories that you've submitted your site to. So in order to get PageRank, you have to go through and complete different types of steps within your website. We'll explain to you. But this is how Google values your individual website. Now, the next thing you'll hear us talk about is link popularity. Basically pretty simple. Google looks at your website as it's kind of like a contest. Whoever has the most links is kind of the winner that's most relevant. It's very much like a popularity contest. The more votes you have, the higher you're going to go. So link popularity means the amount of one-way relevant links that you have pointing directly to your website. So it's pretty simple. These links are going to be coming from articles and different types of places, and you want to build that link popularity throughout your entire website. And we're also going to show you how to do that as well. The next thing that we will also talk about is articles. Now, with articles, we're not talking about a newspaper article here. We're talking about an article that you would write about an individual product, or write about your service, of how your company does something better than the next guy. And this informative article is something that is posted on a lot of other websites that are out there that link back to your site. So it's a very good way to get individual one-way links. We're going to teach you that as well. And the last thing the last term here is an online press release. So an online press release. Now here at IMC Search, we own our own online press release service called iprwire.com. It's what we use for our clients to launch their press releases and get them out there. But what an online press release does is it's not a traditional press release that just goes out to newspapers. Yes, these individual press releases go out to maybe 80,000 different points, but a lot of those points are online news directories, online news search engines. These are places where people are going to look for news. And by using an online press release, you're able to get hundreds, sometimes even thousands of links pointing back to your website with exposure and traffic in usually days instead of months as it takes to try to gain natural traffic. So we'll also be talking about online press releases. And these online press releases are a great way not only drive traffic and links, but it's also a great way to index your individual website. So I want you to remember these industry terms because we're going to start referring to them as we start going through the rest of this video series. So here we went through the basics. Hope you guys have a good firm ground because now we're going to start getting into some actual search engine synchronization and how you're going to apply it to your site. So again, this is Kevin Carr with IMC Search and Search Marketing Labs. The next video is going to be coming up shortly.